Guys, welcome to another Quick Tip Tuesday. I'm Carrie Wise, founder of JoyfulDVM, veterinarian, certified life coach, and today I want to take just a minute to talk to you about the power of no. Specifically, when you're asked a yes or no question, do you answer authentically? Is your no a no? Is your yes a yes? Or are you giving a contradicting answer? In your mind and in your heart, is your answer no, but what you're agreeing to is a yes? In your heart, is it a yes, but you're saying no? We need to pay attention to this. Many of us, when we say no, many of us, when we say yes, when we actually mean no, what we don't recognize is that it's very disempowering to ourselves. We think we're just doing nice things for other people. It's a people pleasing type of behavior. But what we miss is that we are doing that. We're saying yes at the expense of ourselves, at the expense of what we want, what we believe in. And it's very disempowering overall. It's very self defeating. It may seem like you're doing a good thing, but here's what I want you to see. Whenever you say yes, when you really want to say no, your motives for saying yes have nothing to do with what you actually want. It has to do with fear. It has to do with what you're afraid might happen if you say no when you really mean no. It's so important to recognize because oftentimes we say yes when we mean no because we are afraid of the reaction of the other person. We think our no has the power to create emotion in somebody else. It doesn't. That's not how emotion works. But we don't know that, right? We don't really understand where the emotion comes from, and emotions come from our own thinking only. It doesn't come from circumstances ever, which means that their emotions also only come from their own thinking. So if you're saying yes to things that you really want to say no to because you're afraid of hurting somebody else's feelings, here's what I want you to see. Somebody's feelings are getting hurt either way. So you're either going to say yes to something you want to say no to, and your feelings are going to get hurt, or, which is guaranteed, by the way, or you're going to say no to something that you want to say no to, and there's a potential somebody on the other side of that may have a hurt feelings emotion. Now, if they do, what we want to remember though is that their emotional hurt only comes from what they're believing about your no. And at the end of the day, if you can make decisions, empowered decisions that are really in alignment with what you want for yourself and allow people to respond to those actions however they're going to respond, everything gets so much easier. It's when we're trying to act in the right way, make decisions in a way that guarantee an outcome on the other side, so guarantee a reaction from somebody else, that's when we get into a world of trouble. That's where we get into so much overwhelm because there's just no way that we can actually predict how somebody else is going to respond, and that was never our job in the first place. So my tip for you today, let your no be no, let your yes be yes. At any time you find yourself tempted to give an answer that contradicts what you really want, you need to step back and ask yourself, what is it that I think that I'm going to avoid or create if I answer in a way that's not in alignment with what I really want? And am I willing to give my power away and to accept some self-defeating emotion as a result? You're going to find real quick it's just not worth it. It's much better if you'll go ahead, let your no be no, let your yes be yes, and you're going to be amazed at how your self-confidence actually increases as you start to act in alignment with what you really believe. All right, my friends, that's going to wrap it up for this Quick Tip Tuesday. If you want to learn more about yes and no, check out episode 14 of the podcast, and I'll see you next week.